Now, regarding the ongoing situation in Iran, I know there has been a lot of speculation amongst all of you in the media regarding the president's decision making and whether or not the United States will be directly involved. In light of that news, I have a message directly from the president, and I quote, "Based on the fact that there's a substantial chance of negotiations that may or may not take place with Iran in the near future, I will make my decision whether or not to go within the next 2 weeks." That's a quote directly from the president for all of you today. So now,
guys, we are jumping left, right, up, down, day to day, and as usual, everyone was expecting an attack. The president almost made it sound like there was going to be an attack on Iran when the markets were closed yesterday, and then we see this 2-week extension. So the thing about this is we've seen this before, haven't we, with the tariff delays, and then it got delayed and it got extended, and then, everyone thought the tariffs were going to get worse, and then he said, I'm pausing them for 90 days. So, it seems to me, and it seems to the market, that nobody's falling for it this time, and I don't know if there is going to be an attack on Iran, especially when you're talking about it so much. You're talking about the exact place you plan to attack over and over again. I don't know if it's going to happen, guys. And we started to fall out of this pennant, and we started to break to the downside. A lot of people were expecting an attack on Iran when the market was closed, and then we started to break back in. So we started to see some inflows again on BTC, and we still haven't had the sell signal from the SMC bot. So since we had the buy signal down here, we've still not had a sell, and we keep coming back and testing this resistance. And the trend is your friend until proven otherwise. We come back to resistance, we bounce to the upside, and again we are now coming back to resistance, and it appears that we are trying to bounce to the upside. So are we actually going to break to the top side of this pennant, and are we going to get a de-escalation in Iran? We've also seen Zelensky has come out and asked to speak to Putin, so there might even be some de-escalation there. And if we do manage to break to the top side of this pennant, then the target is $120,000. So a complete different target to the 200-day moving average down here. Okay. So this video is mainly going to be about ETH, but we can also see inflows happening on Bitcoin. We've got a lovely pattern here. We've got some nice targets, and we've got some confluence. So I think even if we are trading Ethereum, sometimes Ethereum will move with Bitcoin. So it's important to be looking at Bitcoin's price trajectories so that we can make calculated decisions on these trades as well. Now, I am in a couple of trades, guys. I have a professional leverage trader inside my Discord, and yesterday he posted that he was taking a long trade, and he puts his entries inside the Discord. His entry was around 104,462. Stop loss is 102,519, and he used leverage 20x. And he also adds these nice diagrams so we can actually see our take profit targets and our stop loss targets. Now, I like to think that I'm a very good swing trader. I'm not the best. I'm going to make mistakes. I think my win rate is around 72%, 74%. I know people have 80%, 90% win rates, So I'm not the best of the best, but I like to think I am a good swing trader. I can honestly say I'm not the best day trader, right? Even though we've done very well on some of these leverage trades, I am kind of swing trading the leverage trades, and eventually my swing trades, play off, and I win big, like we did with the BTC longs when Trump won, and the shorts at the top of the local top of the market. But when it comes to day trading, this guy is amazing. He's so much better than me at day trading, and I do take his calls quite often. And yesterday I did take these, and I'm already up 120% on some of these trades as well. So shout out to ZT Broker in the Discord. And he took a long trade on BTC, and he also took a long trade on Ethereum. I took both of these trades. He used 15x on Ethereum, so a little less leverage. And the thing I like about day traders, especially this day trader, is his discipline. He has very, very good discipline. He has very calculated take profit targets and stop losses. And when he goes into profit, more often than not, he actually moves his stop loss to entry, which is one thing I really struggle to do because I'm a swing trader, right? So I try to catch big moves, and that's how I make most of my money. I wait, and maybe I'll hit a loss, and I'll hit a loss, and I'll hit a loss, and then all of a sudden, like the Mudeng long, for example, I'll go and make a 71x because I'm swing trading, right? I'm not trying to hit a 3x or a 4x. I'm trying to hit those big returns. Same with Brett, 50x plus. And the day traders should be doing this, okay? So this is why I like this trader in specific, because he is very, very disciplined. Even if he thinks that price could skyrocket, he doesn't allow himself to get sucked into the euphoria or despair, and he moves his stop loss to entry, which means it's a completely free bet. Now, he can't lose. You know, if it comes back down to his entry, it's a free ticket, it's a free lottery ticket, and if it pushes up like he expects, he's going to make thousands and thousands of dollars, right? So really, really like this. He also moved his stop to entry on Ethereum as well. So really like this trader. If you want to see the leverage trades from him, don't forget, guys, you can join my X. So head over to my X account and jump in the Patreon with us. Here's the link to get involved. And you know, once you click there, you can get involved and see our Discord. You can also get these buy and sell signals inside your trading view. So this SMC bot, see here, tells you when you're going to an uptrend, when you're going into a downtrend, and it gives you buy and sell alerts and support and resistance lines on stocks, crypto, whatever you're trading. And this comes free with the Discord, so you can grab that in there as well. So this video is about Ethereum, and there is some very strange moves happening on ETH, guys. And this to me looks like manipulation. Okay, it looks like pure manipulation. I've seen this happen a few times, and we saw this happen as well with the BTC and Coinbase OTC rumors, and it does feel like the price is being suppressed. And every time the price tries to break out, there's a sell-off. The price tries to break out, there's a sell-off, there's a sell-off, there's a sell-off. It really is trying to break through this SMC weekly. You see, I've changed it up here to the weekly time frame instead of the daily. And it gives us really nice support and resistance lines. You can see here when we broke above the SMC weekly, we got this buy signal, which ended up being a huge move to the upside and a lovely long position, right, if you was in that. And same when we had the sell signal. As soon as we broke below the SMC weekly, we're going to end up getting a sell signal. And then obviously we had this massive, massive move to the downside. And we actually ended up longing down here because you could see the buy pressure was through the roof. The volume was at all-time highs. And we actually ended up taking a long down here. I think we made like, I made around 800% or 900% on that long. And now I'm kind of looking for the next trade. We are at resistance, so the weekly is resistance until proven otherwise, just as it was resistance back here on Ethereum, right? It was resistance here. We don't really need to get bullish until we close above. The problem with this is if it is going to close above, look how fast it moves when it does. When it decides to make that move, it really can scale very, very fast. So we need to be paying close attention to this and, you know, trying to understand if it is going to close above. Now, the candle still has 2 days and 14 hours, but if we get a close above this level on the weekly, it's very, very likely that we start to push up to some very, very high targets and maybe even all-time high, right? We've already had this first move down here, and we're kind of waiting for this second move now. But the price does look very suppressed. Let's just work out where this potentially could be. So this was kind of the size of the first move. And if we were to repeat this move on the breakout, we'd be looking to push, 3.6, maybe even all-time high again, okay? So it could be the start of a very big move. It does feel like it's suppressed. Quinton actually came out and posted saying, ETH ETF inflows have been surging for weeks. And I will add to this because yesterday I saw huge smart money inflows. So smart money were buying Ethereum and adding it to their portfolios very aggressively yesterday. So he's put ETF inflows have surged for weeks, but price is suppressed. Why? Because hedge funds are record shorting. So this was another one of the reasons why we actually shorted Ethereum, right? We started to short the ETF, the Grayscale ETF when it launched, and the price has just been capitulating ever since. And institutions were shorting, right? Their institutions were shorts were at all-time highs, and in my opinion, they've made a lot of money. So there's nothing wrong with them closing their shorts. It's not like they started shorting down here. They actually started shorting when we started shorting, around 3,500, 3,400. And, the price came all the way down to 1.3K. So I'd be very surprised if a lot of them haven't taken profits. But it does seem like there is a battle going on between the accumulators and the institutions. Another thing that might come into play here is a lot of maxis and a lot of old school investors, especially in crypto, are under the impression that this bull run isn't over until Ethereum skyrockets. Okay, so it's an old saying. It's quite viable because a lot of the time the end of the bull run happens when Ethereum does absolutely start mooning and start skyrocketing, and it kind of becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. We've seen a lot of top channels and a lot of top traders actually say, I'm not going to sell. I think Alex Beck has been saying this quite a lot. I'm not going to sell or worry until Ethereum starts to skyrocket, right? So maybe again, this is another factor playing into it, because this is kind of the final sign that everyone is waiting for. End of the bull run is supposed to happen this year. You know, if this is the signal that everyone is waiting for to actually take profits and get out of the market and you know, call it a day until next cycle, maybe there's another element of suppression here. I don't know. I would lean more towards a lot of people are shorting and you know, they don't want it to get wrecked, but we can without a doubt say that this is manipulation. Okay, and there also is the other play here, is that there is market makers actually holding this price up, because these wicks are actually indicating sell-offs, right? Aggressive sell-off, aggressive sell-off. Every time it moves up, aggressive sell-off. If you are a part of the camp that is selling this off or bringing it down, there's only so much Ethereum you have to sell, right? There's only so much ETH that you can keep selling and you can keep selling. And if you sell your entire bag and you know you actually need to be on Ethereum, just in case, I don't know, maybe it becomes the global real estate chain, and you know, the real estate is many trillions in market cap potential, and you know, maybe you don't want to sit and hope that this thing has a bear market, because it just could scale out of control. They have to buy back in, right? So you know, you can't sell forever, and it does feel like a big move is coming here, and I would be very careful, guys, because a lot of people are long, a lot of people are short, and we've just been going sideways. So if they are going to move it and let go of the suppression, and it is going to skyrocket, maybe, you know, the best strategy would be to take out all the long positions first, right? So liquidate all the longs and then send it to the upside. That would make more sense to me. Sometimes I like to think about these things as a market maker. What would I do if I was a market maker and I wanted to push the price to the upside? I would first of all take out all of the shorts, and then I would send it to the upside, right? And then I would suck in some traders into shorts here, because they'll think, oh, we got rejected from the weekly, we're coming down, we're breaking back below resistance. So you know, not only do I suck out a lot of the shorts, I induce lots of more shorts, and then I go and liquidate them all, right? Something to be careful with. If we get an easy play, then it just continues to break to the upside, right? I do think if we close over this, we're going to see a very, very similar thing to what happened here, and I do think we are going to get week after week after week of upside. I don't know how long it's going to last in this market, but you know, with this de-escalation in Iran and potentially the de-escalation in Russia and Ukraine, it could be looking good. In terms of the daily, so if we look at the SMC bot on the daily time frame now, up here, I've clicked to the daily. We had the sell signal up here around 3,500. You know, the trend is your friend. There's been no reason to buy until we had a buy signal. And, you know, every time we came back to the SMC resistance, we got rejected. So again, if you missed this sell signal and you took a short here, fantastic entry. If you took a short here, fantastic entry. We ended up front running this move a little bit. We did have the green flash. So you see this bright green candle over here. This bright green indicates that you're at the start of an uptrend. So we did have this green candle confirm here, and then we had this move. And I think we took a long position around here, and you know, I took profits up here somewhere. So we still are in this mini uptrend, and the last signal from the SMC bot was a buy signal. If we look at this, when it flipped, so when we went from when we closed above the SMC weekly, see this trend line here. I used the wrong indicator here. If we use the draw tool, when we eventually closed over the SMC average and we got this buy signal, okay, so it was the start. What happens when you flip the resistance? It now turns into support, right? So now this is support, and technically we just do the same we've done here, right? We short here, we short here. When it comes back to the daily, we long, right? So if we do push up like this and we come back, the trend is your friend until the end, okay? So we should technically see the same thing play out if we do start to see these moves to the upside, guys, because, you know, the macro is wild. But the trend is your friend until the end, and we are still sitting on that SMC daily. So technically, this is a long position for me personally until proven otherwise. And again, if we do push up and we come back, maybe I'll take some profits up here, and we do come back to the SMC daily, and this is where I would look for a long position. And then eventually, if we do get this sell signal and we close back below, so let's say we end up pushing up like this on ETH, and maybe we get a sell signal here, right, and we close below, then I just flip short, and again, the trend is your friend until the end. This SMC daily would start to roll over like this, and then I would look for a short entry here or a short entry here, right? We just trade the support and resistance lines, and right now I'm not fading the data because we are still sitting. If we zoom in, you can see clearly here we are sitting on that SMC daily, and we still haven't broken above it, and it has also it's like contraction, right? It's kind of a coil that's springing up, and it's building this tension, and sometimes they explode either to the upside or the downside. But like I say, we're still above this SMC daily, so for now the price is indicating that we might actually coil and spring to the upside. If we also look at the weekly, this is going to be very, very moon boy, guys, but we can clearly see that we had this consolidation here ever since we had this pullback. We had this massive consolidation. We had our yellow candles flash on the weekly. So down here, if we look at our legend, it says downtrend yellow. So when we had those yellows, it's kind of a bit of an alarm bell that, hey, we might actually be going into a correction here. And, we went into this long drawn out correction. Now, if we actually work out from the top of this ascending triangle to the bottom of the ascending triangle, we can get a cool or accurate price target on the weekly time frame. And let's say the breakout really happened on this yellow, and we are actually closing above this. See here, this touch point here, touch point here, touch point here, touch point here. We are sitting on top of this yellow, which is, again, is more confidence that we are going to see a move to the upside. And this is beautiful because this actually takes us pretty much around the all-time high target, okay? So we have some really nice confluence here that we are going to come up and retest these highs. And of course, we would expect some sort of a rejection here because it was previous resistance, previous resistance, previous resistance. So this is where I would love to set up a take profit target just at all-time highs around 4,000. I'd probably enter a short position here as well. I'm not saying that we're not going to do this, okay, pull back and break through. But looking at the technicals, I would probably set a short, I would enter a short and take profits on my long positions here, simply because we will have moved up, not just from the support line, guys, at 2.1K, we would have moved up from 1.3K up to 4,200, right? So, or $4,000. So we would have moved up a huge amount in a very short amount of time. This actually would be roughly around a 192% move in a very, very short amount of time. And, that's a lot of money, right? Some people would have made 50 million, 100 million just on this move. And it's a lot of money in a very short amount of time. And I do think that we would definitely get some resistance at those previous highs here. So I'd be quite interested to take profits here and look for a retrace back to the downside. Maybe that would even be the local top, right? Maybe that would be the local top. One thing we don't have in our favor is the RSI. The RSI is overbought. It is kind of chilling out and starting to retrace a little bit, but it is overbought. And the last time it was overbought, we can see over here, it was literally here, right? So that's something that we do have going against us. I would say there's more indicators in TA that actually lead to us pushing to the upside. But again, the trend is our friend. Until we get a sell signal on the daily SMC, we are still sitting on support, and I would never short on support. Okay, so I long support and I short resistance. Again, guys, none of the information in this video is financial advice. Do your own research. Investing in crypto is highly risky. You can lose all your money investing in anything. And I am not a financial advisor, so you should always do your own research. These are just my strategies. This is just what I'm doing. And yeah, if you want to get involved with us, guys, if you want to get these indicators on your own trading view, you can use them inside a free trading view, so you don't need a paid trading view. And once you join up, you'll get all of these buy and sell signals that will flash up on assets, so stocks, crypto, whatever you're looking at. That's it for now. Don't forget to like and subscribe on the video so you don't miss out on any of these videos. Until then, I will catch you in the next one.